Okay, first of all, a disclaimer. I don't profess to be a good classical guitarist. I know I'm not holding my guitar on my left knee, I'm not using a footstool, and I'm aware that I'm missing bits off the ends of the bars so I can get to the next chord. Having said all that, you may find this interesting if you are trying to play this second, much harder part of the tune Romanza. Everybody knows this. First part in E minor, which is pretty easy, most of it, because it uses lots of open strings, but the second part in E major, not so easy, as you probably just noticed, but I'm going to go through it. My sheet that I'm supplying with this, it's all in chord boxes, and my chord boxes show the guitar neck the way up it normally is. The old-fashioned chord boxes used to show the guitar sort of that way up, which I've always thought was not particularly helpful. Mine show the guitar this way up. So if you look at the first box there, you can see the guitar head drawn crudely on the left of the box. The thick line at the bottom is the thickest string, and the numbers on the strings are the fingers. So your first shape is this: first finger behind the first fret of the G string, little finger behind the fourth fret of the high-pitched E string. So that's your first shape, and it is essentially an E major chord. Now, to the right-hand side of that box, you can see a 1 and a 6 over the top of each other. So you're going to pinch those two strings together and hold on to the shape and pick 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This type of picking is called free strokes, so where you strike the string and you come up, not a rest stroke. So in this tune, basically, you are going to use your third finger to pluck the first string, your second finger to pluck the second string, and your first finger to pluck the third string, and your thumb to pluck the sixth string. So bar number 1 there. Now, in the second bar, you're going to play the same strings, but you're going to descend down that E string. So you've got 4th fret, 2nd, and then open. But the first finger stays on all the way through that. So that gives you right, so that's essentially the first couple of bars. Then it goes to this chord, which is really a B7 sus4. You bar the 2nd fret right across. Notice it says 2nd underneath that fret, so you know that you've sort of moved up a bit. Your 3rd finger is behind the 4th fret of the D string. Your 4th finger is behind the 5th fret of the B string, and it will move to the 4th fret of the B string during the course of the bar. Now, it also says picking over. Having said that you always play certain strings with certain fingers, here you're going to bring your picking over. So you'll use your 3rd finger to pluck the 2nd string, your 2nd finger to pluck the 3rd, and your 1st finger to pluck the 4th, and your thumb will be used on the 5th string. Now the first pair of notes you play is 2 and 5, then you play string 3, then string 4, then bring your little finger down to the 4th fret. That's why there's that little 4 above the 2 showing you that it's the 4th fret. So if you like, you go from a B7 sus4 to a B7. So that gives you. So in the next bar, on the next line, it's still essentially picking over, and you're going. So you pinch strings 2 and 5 together, it's 4th fret of 2, then you want to put your 2nd finger down behind the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and you pick 2, 3, 4, then put your little finger back where it was. So that's your tune. And you can see from the chord box where your fingers go. Your next bar is up on the 7th fret. So your first finger bars across behind the 7th fret, 2nd finger goes behind the 8th fret of the G string, little finger goes behind the 9th fret of the E string. Now with that shape on, there's no movement within the chord here, you just pinch 1 and 6 and do the typical sort of Romanza 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now the next bar begins the same, but on the middle set of 3 notes, you bring your little finger up to the 11th fret of the E string, of string number 1, and then back to the 9th. In that bar, fingers 1 and 2 don't move. It's the little finger that does the work. Now leave your little finger where it is from that shape. Take everything off. You're on the next row now. Put your 3rd finger behind the 9th fret of the 2nd string. Put your 2nd finger behind the 9th fret of the 3rd string. That's your starting shape. And you pinch 1 and 6. You see it says 9 by the 9th fret. Then you want the 7th fret of string number 1. So you lift your little finger up, put your 1st finger down. And do that for a couple. Stay there. Now the movement there is all on the 1st string. You want 7th fret, 9th fret, 11th fret. Fingers 2 and 3 don't move, see? So in fingers it's 1, 4, 4. Okay? The 6th string is of course open on this. Okay? On the next bar, you're going to bar 3 strings on the 9th fret. Some people call this a half bar. You might be handy just to put your thumb around the back of the neck like that. Little finger up on the 12th fret. Notice there's a 9th underneath the chord box telling you you're on the 9th fret. So that's your shape. Pinching 1 and 6, doing the usual 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then you just descend. So there you go, 12, 11, 10, 4, 3, 2 fingers, and the barring finger doesn't move. So you've got. Now you have a pretty hard stretch coming up here. You've got to do this. And I tend to put my thumb right the way round. Right, I'll show you this. My thumb kind of goes there, almost to the edge of the neck there, because to make this stretch is pretty hard. This is the stretch. It's barring 2 strings 5th fret, 1st finger. It's 2nd finger behind the 6th fret of the G string, and the little finger up on the 9th fret of the E string. That's your shape. Now you pinch 1 and 5 and do the usual 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to descend 9, 7, 5. Well, you're on 9. 7 is achieved by putting your 3rd finger down, and then obviously 5 you're already on with the barring finger. So you've got 2 lots there with that basic shape. On the next row of chords, you're going to bar the 2nd fret. You're going to put your 3rd finger behind the 4th fret of the B, little finger behind the 4th fret of the high-pitched E string. You're pinching strings 1 and 5 with the usual 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then the next bar. Same shape. You start off on the 4th fret of the E, go to the 5th fret of the E, bring your little finger up to that, and then if you lift your little finger off, that exposes the 2nd fret of the E string, which is covered by the barring finger. So those 2 bars. And then you've got a conventional E major chord. 1st finger behind the 1st fret of the G string, 2nd finger behind the 2nd fret of the A string, 3rd finger behind the 2nd fret of the D string. And you're going to play 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But you're going to play 3 different bass notes. Now the 1 and 4 and the 1 and 5, that's easy because that's just what you're doing in the chord shape. It's the 1 and 6. That's a bit of a peg. Little finger behind the 4th fret of the thick E string. So that gives you, and then first time ending, pinch strings 1 and 6 together, play 2 open strings, and then you start again. into your first movement again. So that second time ending, going into it from that E major chord, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then you take it up to the 7th fret, back to the key of E minor. So that ending, second time ending, is strings 1 and 6 pinched together, 2, 3, and on the third beat of the bar you go to the 2nd fret of string 1. So just to be clear, the tiny numbers of the frets, the big numbers of those strings. So that gives you 2nd fret string 1 on the third beat of the bar, and then go back to the normal bit that you probably already know, the easy bit. So that ending 2, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. Anyway, fairly quick and dirty, but I hope you found that useful.